Hi everyone, we're going to talk to you a little bit about some of the different strategies you can use within conscious discipline, and this strategy is called greetings. And so let me get the screen share started so you can see the PowerPoint. All right, so there are different pieces within conscious discipline, and one strategy is greetings. It's really easy to do. Here's why we do it. And so we greet children in the morning because it helps us to build our positive climate. And so you're building that teacher-child connection. If you eventually switch and have that as a helper job, it can build child-to-child connections. You're going to have good eye contact when you do it. There can be physical affection. You're going to be within close proximity. You're going to use your students' names. If you think about the other chunks of class, the things that it hits really hard, you always have choice. So you're going to have about 4 greetings that they can choose from every morning. And so they have choice within that every day. Teacher sensitivity, you're going to be responsive to how much of a touch or a greeting that child wants each day. Your greetings should have a variety of modalities. That way you hit instructional learning format. So you're going to have some that are auditory or spoken. You're going to have kinesthetic ones like dance or a high five. Your visual part of that is going to be the symbols that you put on the greeting apron. Concept development, you can make greetings that connect to your study and integrate in so it reinforces your study again. Productivity, it's going to help you build routine. So if you're looking for an easy way to pull up class scores during that morning part, during drop off where it can be a little bit chaotic sometimes, you're going to do it every single day, and you're going to greet every single student by name, and they're going to choose what kind of greeting they want. I'm going to show you a bunch of examples, so if it's not clear yet, it will be. Why else should you do it? Reduces separation challenges at drop off, makes the child feel welcome. It gives you one-on-one time with each child, starts the day with a positive, sets a welcoming tone. If you think about positive climate, what do you want it to feel like when someone enters your room? You're going to set that tone. You're going to build connections every day between you and that child. Think about how you feel when you go someplace that always greets you by name and makes you feel welcome the instant you come in the door. You intentionally teach a component of polite communication. So you're going to do some language things every day. You're going to do some social emotional things every day as a part of this greeting. It's repetitive, and we know that children learn through little chunks of repetition, and it makes kids feel safe. Probably going to make you feel good too as the grown-up. All right, so what in the world is a greeting? If you're not doing it in your room, or if you haven't seen it before, here's one way to do a greeting. So this teacher has a greeting apron, and so she's selected the greetings that she wants children to have. You can make these yourself, or some of the rooms have ones that are purchased for you. And so if I do it, I like to put Velcro on so you can swap the choices in and out. And so the child will come up and pick which greeting they want, and then you'll greet the child in that way. Once you do greetings a lot, you can have a helper job be greeter. And so you can see this one has the Velcro choices on and off. So if you're not artistic, you can print those ones off. The links on the Conscious Discipline site, they're free, and you can print those. One component of a greeting every day is that you should have a non-touch option. And so some children are a little slow to warm up, and they need a little time to just warm and feel. Or maybe even some of you aren't if you know me, you know that I'm a hugger, but somebody else is going to prefer a smile or a wave in the morning. And so think about all those different greetings that you can do that wouldn't involve a touch. And so you could have a greeting in different languages. So if you think about the languages in your room, you can ask parents and families to help you, and that could be a different greeting. A warm smile is a non-touch greeting. Making a silly face at one another. Doing a head nod. And so one of my guide teachers does this really cool series of head nods with the students that they love. You can blow a kiss, and that can be a non-touch. You can do a callback. And so if you think about the greetings like I have with my grandpa when I was a kid, where I'd say, "See you later, alligator," and he'd say, "After a while, crocodile," or back and forth. So you can make a call and response that you do with your children. It could be about a book that you're doing. So you could say chicka chicka and they could say boom boom. Or you could say I'll huff and I'll puff and they could say I'll blow your house down. You could do a wink, which is fun and really hard for kids to do. One of my rooms really likes doing the fish face or fish kisses, so you can and do a fish kiss. You can do a Wonder Woman pose. You can do Superman with hands on your hips. And so think about what your children are interested in. Those make good non-touch options. You can do a wave. That's a non-touch option. Some of my rooms like to do a princess wave, which is kind of fun. And so you can do, one of my rooms does a wobble head. So they wobble head back and forth. Think about what is a good fit for your students and what they would be interested in. You want it to be choices that they would find fun. All right, so lots of different ways you can do a greeting apron. So some of you may have a pre-purchased conscious discipline one. They come with these handy dandy ones that you can add in and out. So you can do that butterfly handshake where you do together. You can do fireworks, so you can do a high five. Jeffrey's room really liked doing jumping high fives, so they'd have to jump up and give you a high five. I bet you can think of a student in your room that would really like that. You can do a hug, and so I like to do different hug options in my rooms. And so you may have seen me before, children, if they want a tight hug or if they want to squeeze. And so a squeeze, I'll hold it for longer and we'll do a squeeze. And there's a comfort level of that to that. If you think about Bruce Perry's Trauma, that has a component in it that's really soothing. And so you might call it a bear hug or a tight squeeze, or just like a long, firm hug. If we're doing the parachute game with the boa constrictor, I'll sometimes call it a boa constrictor hug. And so you could do fist bump, you could do pinky hugs, you could do, I don't know what the cell phone greeting is. I don't know, maybe you just hold a phone up. And I certainly don't know what the skunk greeting is, but I'm interested in learning what that could be. So that'll be interesting to find out. You can make homemade ones. And so these have different greetings on that are homemade. So they've got bear hug, that heartwarming smile, and the high five. And the high fives and handshakes can be like a ton of different made up ones. And so they'll really like those. The wiggly handshake is kind of fun. Think about it like Bill and Ted's. That's a really old school reference. And so you can do that greeting as well. If you don't want to do an apron, Jeffrey and I at trainings before have made greeting mats. And so greeting mats are, you can walk in and step on which one you want. And so a hug, a smile, a handshake, a high five. And remember, always have that one choice that's a non-trust choice for that child who's not quite ready in the morning. It can be as simple as putting them on the door and they've got their greetings up here of what, how do you want to be greeted. My one room, my one old building, they had an adult helper that greeted every parent and me when I came in the door. So I never went in that building that someone didn't call me by name and give me a hug when I came in. And I have to tell you, it makes you feel really good. Think about the languages in your room. And so this room had a lot of Spanish speakers. So of course we're going to put it in Spanish as well. And so they had more than 4 choices. They had several choices. Oh, Spider-Man is a good non-touch one too. And so you can think about the different gradings. It's fun to make them up and your kids will have fun making them up as well. I think that we've talked about all those ones. All right. There are different choices. So if you have a smart board, you can put them on your smart board and they can touch which one they want that way. And so again, we've always got like the non-touch version for the child who's slow to warm up. And then the dance one is really fun. There's a really good video of that. And if you want to see it, I'll send you the link. So we can show you that. It's pretty cute. All right, here's what they look like in some real rooms. And so this is a student-to-student greeting in the morning, and they're going to do a handshake. And then here's another room. We've got a high five, handshake, hug, and the child gets to pick. Remember, there's always choice, and the child gets to pick how they want to be greeted. You can have the same greetings for a long time, or you can change them up. If there's a greeting the students really love, I would leave it. So if they love having that hug every time as a choice, I would leave it and switch some of the other ones. You can also have not just, so once you get really good at your morning ones, my challenge would make sure you do a goodbye ritual. So you got your morning ritual and your greeting, but think about adding a goodbye one. And the goodbye ones, there's a ton of ones online that are different from ones that have rhyme, and rhyme is a really low area for us. So it's just a little way to practice rhyme every day, and it's silly and fun, and you can connect it up to your study. And so bye bye, and they'd say butterfly. See you later, and they'd say alligator. So it's like that call and response that we do sometimes to get attention. Another good way to practice language. All right, so there's lots of different greetings that we can do. Let's see, are there ones on my list that we didn't cover? I think, one of my rooms was studying different animals. So they had a claw greeting. And so they had a claw, and they would have a claw greeting. One of mine had a cow greeting. And so one student would hold down like this, and the other student would pull and would milk the cow. So when they had their farm unit. And so one of my rooms was really excited about lumberjacks. And so they would do a crosscut saw. So each child would hold, and one would pull and the other would come towards them, and they'd rock back and forth and pretend like they were sawing. And so I encourage you to let your children come up with greetings, because they're going to come up with some pretty silly ones and some pretty creative ones. And then you can just make some kind of a symbol that represents it to put either on your apron or on your door for that greeting every day. I feel like I have my one room over at Barnett does a fabulous job with greetings, and I one morning observed them. Every single teacher in the room, there are 3, greeted every single student and every single grown-up that accompanied a student that day. And I thought, man, how welcome must they feel that they're called by name and every single person said hello to them in some way, shape, or form. And so all 3 teachers greeted every single one. So I'm bragging a little bit on Barnett. You know who you are. So great job with that. Okay. If you have any questions about greeting, I would love to send you some video examples or even talk to you about them. So shoot me an email, sedwards at cdcheadstart.org, and I can send you more examples. There are a lot of cool ones on YouTube. If you go on YouTube and look up greetings, or go on the Conscious Discipline website, there are some free things that you can pass out. Good luck. I can't wait to see your greetings.